Hello, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler, and welcome to my September Hobby Roundup. Now, this month I've been doing a few different things from different projects. First thing I did was finishing off a project I started last month, which was the Necromunda Goliath Dune Buggy. So you can see now that I've primed all of this. So if we start at the front to have a good look at this, I've got this ram on the front where I've put an ambot head and a few other heads as kind of trophies on the front of it. Converted this drop troop mortar into a grenade launcher for the top of it, and used rails from the Necromunda terrain kit for the side rails of the pickup section of this dune buggy. So I can fit 3 miniatures in the back of this one. I've still got to decide a colour scheme for this. I am thinking something two-tone. Maybe the frame underneath is all going to be red, and then another colour, maybe some kind of rusty worn metal for all of the top sections. I really enjoyed working on this one. It's quite nice playing around with the different options that you get with vehicles with Necromunda and converting things. After finishing that this month, I fancy doing a bit of painting. So I had a clawed fiend that I wanted to paint up, which I've had for a little while. So I really enjoyed painting this one. I think it's a really nice model. It's a shame that I think it's discontinued now. Don't quote me on it, but I think it might be discontinued now. But I really enjoyed doing that. As I was doing this model, I had an idea from this artwork to do the rest of the group. So after I'd completed painting the Clawed Fiend, I put together a spare Necron warrior that I had. No need to worry about much conversion on that. It is what it is. And then what looks like a spore mine or an enslaver in the front of the picture, I decided to convert my own little enslaver to join the little group. So I've magnetized it onto the stand, and let's get it in focus. Got various tentacles coming out of him as he's floating along, his longer tentacles. I decided to put the feeding tube on the front and some tiny little eyes. I used ball bearings for those. But a fun little kind of conversion, that one. I've still got to do the Kroot mercenary from the group, and then decide what I'm going to do with the Harud character. Whether I go for a Skaven conversion or scratch build one to match the one that you see in the Xenology book. But I'm going to talk about this in a separate video because it's quite an interesting project that I've been working on, and I want to kind of go into a bit more depth with it. The final thing that I've been working on this month, I found in a box in the loft this old Forge World statue of a Tyrannid Hormigaunt bursting out of the floor. Now, when I found it, the head had come off, the tongue was snapped, there was damage to the back and a few plates around the place. So after gluing and pinning the head back on, I've started sculpting a little bit of detail. What I did, I sculpted most of the detail, then sprayed the whole thing white. I primed it, ready for paint, and it highlighted a few extra points, so the bits that were missing there on the neck, as well as the tooth. Also allowed me to tidy up the spine on the back there. So the plan with this guy, I want to paint him up. I haven't decided the Hive Fleet yet, whether I do my own Hive Fleet of my own creation or one of the standard ones. My own Hive Fleet is in these colours. I've only got a few models in it. So this is my Broodlord that I painted quite a while ago. So I went for quite a bone, kind of husky white base, and then the tops of them red with the yellow highlights. So I really like this model. I like this paint scheme. Be interesting to see how it translates to a larger model, or also other Tyranids. I do have quite a few that I need to get round to painting. But that's my own Hive Fleet. Doesn't have a name yet, but I'm sure I could come up with a name for a whole Hive Fleet. So that was September. Not many models on the hobby table, but enough to keep me busy painting, some converting and some modelling. But for now, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler. Stay safe.